Big up guys. Welcome to this preview. The Thomas Frank derby called Spurs versus the Bees. Reunited with our former manager tomorrow, guys. Yeah, Thomas Frank, he's back. But obviously not our ground. It's a Spurs, of course. So I still think we got a great chance with this because I don't think Spurs are great, but certainly at home they're not anything special either. But then I have said all this before and we still lost. So I feel this time though, I still think we got a good chance. I really do. I never really had much of hope of getting something against Arsenal. That was never really something I thought of, that we would get something. If we did, it was a bonus. But, that was always a sort of hope, a fantasy, a dream to get something. Maybe a draw against them, we even nick a win. But it wasn't to be. And that was a poor performance, really. We were, abject in that. Had only one really good chance and hit the bar in the game. So, but now I think we had one eye on this as well. These games come in thick and fast. You got them in the week and now the weekend as well. They're all coming thick and fast up to Christmas, as we know. So it's you got to deal with what you can and rest the players. These squads. We haven't got a massive squad. We ain't got the players we can call on like other teams. Let's be honest, the bigger teams. And our squad isn't as packed out with all these really top class players. So we got to rotate, and I feel that's what we had to do against Arsenal. And obviously it proved like obviously we weren't really bothered about that game. I think we just went there to just get away without being totally annihilated, slapped up or anything, and that's what happened. Only a 2-0. In a way, it was okay. I'm not too bothered because we weren't thrashed by Arsenal, and I think they're a dull team myself, negative. When really they've got the players to go at teams, and they've got to really grab them by the throat and put their foot on their throats and really go at them, but they don't. They're too negative, like the manager. Let's be honest. He's just too negative and defensive. So that's Arteta. But anyway, we're getting back to this one. And I've got a few comments from Kev there. What do you think of the World Cup draw, mate? Yeah, it's okay. It could have been worse. I mean, Croatia's going to be fairly tough. I mean, we've had some really hard games with them before, and obviously lost mainly. So, that game might be a tough one. I think Ghana, I don't know, generally African teams can be a surprise and do well and very good teams. Might be tough. Panama, we should be beating teams like that, that's for sure. I think we should get through the group, though. I just feel we will. Maybe not easily, but I think we will get through it. I'm only thinking maybe quarters this time, though. There's something here with this Tommy Tickle. I'm still not sure about with him, although he's got a fairly good, sort of found a way now of playing some decent football and getting players, all really great players into, playing in roles, with each other there in the midfield, especially the likes of Anderson and where we can fit Bellingham in. I'm not sure. We've got Foden, who's on fire and brilliant at the moment. Rice, of course. So, midfield is, we got so many great players, really, we could put in. Got Cole to come back, Cole Palmer as well to come back. So, we got a richness of choices, of options, but I know something with this Tommy Tickle, what I still think he won't be enough. He won't know what to do. This is something there that tells me we can't really go any further than maybe quarters. So yeah, I think he'll go, but we'll see. Yeah, big up to you, Horace. Thanks for having me on your show there, bro, on your stream beforehand, of course. That's why I'm a little bit late again, guys, because I was on a stream before. So that's actually why I'm a bit later than I wanted to be. Got a feeling Brentford will sting Thomas Frank tomorrow. I'm hoping that. Mate. I really am. It would be great. I'd love to, and show him that, he shouldn't have left us. Why he went to Spurs, left us to go to Spurs. I mean, let's be honest, they're not going to win that much. And yes, they won a trophy before, but that was with Big Ange, and they were still down in 17th or whatever. I think they finished 17th, didn't they? So yeah, it was terrible. And I think that they're not going to be as bad as that under Thomas, but I think they may get possibly top 8, 7, I don't know, 8th, 7th. I don't know, do well to get 6. I don't think that's possible. But they'll be in that top 10 for sure. They won't be right down there this time. But I think Thomas has found it harder than he thinks. He thinks it would be, going to a team with, more options, more, supposedly better players to pick from. But I'm not so sure he has here. I'm not so sure he has at Spurs. And he's got some very good players out, of course, with Kulusevski and some others, Madison, of course, as well. But, I don't think it's been as easy for him as he thought it would be. Getting away from Brentford, and sometimes we're almost struggling to, hold on with defending. But then again, we had a good attack, really, with Bremo and Visser and everything. And when that went, I think it was a domino effect, him going, leaving, and then we lost, of course, Bremo, and that wanted to go. Visser didn't want to stay any longer. So, but yeah, I mean, I hope we don't boo him tomorrow. I really do, because, what he's done for us. I think he was amazing and fantastic manager. What he's done, getting us up to the Premier, we'll always, be grateful to the guy, and I think he was an amazing manager for us. And we'll always think fondly of him and what he's done. But he has gone now. We have to move on. We got Keith Andrews, and I think he's done all right, Keith. Better than I thought he'd do. I really didn't think he'd be up to this, set piece coach. Well, what else did he really? Where else has he really had a great long managerial jobs or whatever? So, but he's actually surprised me, pleasantly surprised me. Yes, we're still in and out, hot and cold. Really, we can either do something really good, fairly good, great performance, and then we go backwards again, and then back to the normal. And I don't know where we are at times. Whether we want to go and push on and really start going at these big teams. I mean, we've beaten the bigger teams like Liverpool and United, Newcastle, Villa, and all that. We've beaten them. But yeah, I can say I don't think they were that great. I think they were a bit poor. But then again, we still played great as well. I think our football at times has been really good. I don't think it's been as good as it was under Frank at times, but I still think we're getting there. We're still looking, to get our identity under Andrews. But it helps when you've got a good player that keeps scoring in Thiago, and he's been brilliant for us. And I wouldn't have played him at all against Spurs, against Arsenal. I wouldn't have brought him on at all. I just kept it how it was. I mean, we were never going to score anyway, let's be honest. We never looked likely, just that one chance from Sharda, that was it. And great save from Raya, tipping it onto the bar. So that was it for us, really. So, saving for this game, that was it. Just totally saving for the Spurs game. And I think he will score here. I think he should. He came on against Arsenal. I don't know, whether he's totally fit, but I hope he's okay. I hope he can carry on and play. We don't want him being out again. He's got 12 goals so far this season. He's been amazing. Be up to you, Harry. Hope you're well, bro. Evening, lads. Hope you're all good. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I hope everyone else is. So, enjoying Friday and getting that Friday evening feeling and night time it is now, I suppose. Pretty much night. So, start of the weekend coming up. All the great football matches again, Premier, and all the other sports and that going on. Cricket, of course, as we know. It's all happening. And hi to you. Who's that? Milo, LFC. Be up to you, my friend. Hope you're all good. Yeah. Be up to you. And Kev again. The knockout stages will be tough as you have Argentina and possibly Brazil to get through. Yeah, that could be that, my friends. Yeah, it could be that, bro. And then of course you got, I think it's Republic of Ireland. Is it Republic of Ireland? You follow? So it'd be interesting to see if they get through in that playoff. Republic of Ireland. So, on Northern Ireland, of course, there as well, and Wales. It'd be great to see them if either of those could qualify. And so at least we've got 3 home nations in it, with England, Scotland, and possibly Wales and Northern Ireland. Republic of Ireland, of course. So, but that was really a complicated, convoluted World Cup draw, I thought, today. And everything else going on, all that fucking music acts and other stuff, and the bloody Trump being Trump, as usual. Bloody load of hoo-ha, the crap, really. But there we go. It's that's what they always do now, don't they? So I thought so. Yes, I'm from Ireland. It would be amazing to qualify, but it's going to be tough for us. Yeah. So is that Take It Republic it's Republic? It's not Northern Ireland, is it? No. Because you've got to be careful what you say, because some will take that as offensive, because Northern Ireland is not anything to do with Republic of Ireland, is it? It's separate and all that. So I don't mean to insult you, Kev, or anything. Hope you don't take it that way. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna move on and talk going to this game, and it's going to be an interesting one tomorrow. Very interesting. I've got a bit of team news here, and I'll bring that up. And Brentford team news I've got here, and the update: Thiago in a good place, says Andrews. Brentford head coach Keith Andrews says that Igor Thiago, who has scored 11 goals in the Premier League this season, is in a good place ahead of Saturday's game against Spurs, 3 p.m. Brentford head coach Keith Andrews says that Igor Thiago is, I won't say that again because I just said it. So, you know what it is. Thiago joined Nathan Collins, Mikael Damsgaard and Jordan Henderson on the bench Wednesday night's visit to Arsenal, while Aaron Hickey was not included in the squad for the 2-0 defeat at Emirates Stadium. Asked if Thiago will start against Tottenham, Andrew said, "I'm not going to tell you the team, but he's clearly in a good place. I'm sure that means he will. he's got to be. Had that one a little bit of a rest against Arsenal, although he came on. I wouldn't have, as I say, I wouldn't have played him anyway altogether. Save him for this one, and I think that's what will happen. He will play against Spurs, so he's playing very, very well. He's going from strength to strength, and we seem to be speaking about him a lot, and rightly so, because he's been magnificent. His mental strength is pretty evident, considering the type of season he had last year, where he's come from in his career, playing in different countries, and now ending up here, having an impact in the most demanding league in the world. Asked about his decision to rotate his squad for Brentford's game against Arsenal, the Bees boss said, "I have zero concern about making changes. It's needed at times because it's a long season. You don't achieve anything with 11 players. The feel of the group needs to be fresh. Every player needs to feel involved in the process on a day-to-day basis." To see the way we approached the game the other night, which was fearless, was very pleasing but not surprising. Josh De Silva, knee ligament, remains sidelined, while Fabio Carvalho and Anthony Malambo will both miss the rest of the season due to ACL games. Unfortunate for them, of course, it's terrible. ACL injuries, it's not nice, not good. But anyway, let's get on to the actual preview. And right, no more comments. So I'll carry on with this. Let's carry on with this. Spurs versus Brentford, analysis, team news, match officials and more. Here's everything you need to know ahead of Brentford's Premier League game against Tottenham at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday afternoon. Brentford face Tottenham Hotspur away from home in the Premier League on Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. kickoff. The Bees will be looking to bounce back from a 2-0 loss against Arsenal at Emirates Stadium on Wednesday night, while Spurs drew 2-2 at Newcastle United midweek. Analysis, team news, match officials and more. Here's everything you need to know ahead of the fixture. Pre-match analysis, Steven Gile, playmaker stats, Spurs struggling for consistency. Thomas Frank's Tottenham Hotspur welcome his former club Brentford to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this weekend. It may prove difficult for Keith Andrews to get a firm read on Spurs given their uneven performances this season. After 7 era-defining years at Brentford, Frank crossed the capital in the summer, and his early spell at Spurs has produced 8 wins, 7 draws and 7 losses in all competitions, a spread that reflects a team still searching for rhythm. Tuesday's 2-2 draw at Newcastle captured the mood of Frank's maiden campaign. Flashes of quality and resilience wrapped in inconsistency. Tottenham twice came from behind at St James Park, showing genuine mettle with rugged centre-half Christian Romero emerging as a surprise hero. The Argentine scored both goals, his acrobatic overhead kick salvaging a point in stoppage time. Romero's bicycle kick established Tottenham 15 goals on the road as the joint most prolific away side in the Premier League this season, and also illustrated their knack for getting unlikely goals. Only 4 teams, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea and Brighton, have outscored Spurs in the top flight, yet Frank's men are punching far above their weight according to the expected goals metric. The XG numbers reveal that Tottenham have struck 22 Premier League goals, excluding own goals from just 15.4 XG this term. An over performance of plus 6.46, And Romero's audacious overhead, bobbling through a sea of bodies, was perhaps the purest illustration of this trend. Brentford have converted 21 of 147 shots, 14.29% this season, giving them the third best shot conversion rate in the division. But Tottenham, 17.42%, top the Premier League in this respect, despite creating lower quality chances than the Bees in XG terms. Remarkably, Spurs have scored nigh on a goal for every 2 shots on target this term, but they are unlikely to sustain such a high ratio. And Frank will surely want his team to increase the volume of shots they take. Only Burnley 8.2 and Wolves 9.1 have averaged fewer shots per game than Spurs 9.4 so far. Tottenham's passing numbers this term are similarly erratic. According to their passes per defensive action, PPDA data, only Bournemouth and Arsenal have pressed more intensely than Spurs. Yet the North Londoners have managed just 4 shots from high turnovers this season, a mere 5% of their upfield regains, leading to an attempt on goal. This disjointedness extends into their defensive work too. Tottenham have logged more miscontrols, 252, and more dispossessed on more occasions, 148, than any team in the top tier. And they have had the most errors leading to opponent shots with 19. Brentford, in contrast, have limited any freebies. The Bees have had the fewest lapses of this sort, 4 in the division. Scout report: Dan Long, Sky Sports patience. Sky Sports patience needed to turn Tottenham's fortunes around. How best to sum up Tottenham's 24-25 season? Strange, bittersweet, a roller coaster. One thing is for sure: it was historic for both positive and negative reasons. Firstly, it was littered with defeats. There were 26 in all competitions, 22 of which came in the Premier League. The last time they lost that many league games was when they were relegated from the First Division in 1934-35. It meant they finished just 1 place above the relegation zone in 17th, which also marked their lowest ever Premier League finish and their lowest in the top flight since 66-67, when they finished 22nd in the First Division in 76-77. The only saving grace was that Leicester, Ipswich and Southampton won only 12 games between them and slipped back into the Championship without much of a fight. Ange Postecoglou was under pressure for the whole campaign, with a statement he made after the North London derby defeat to Arsenal on 15th of September 2024, relentlessly following him around. I usually win things in my second season. Mate, he said. In the league, Spurs faltered, but in the Carabao Cup and Europa League, it was a different story. Those competitions brought a much-needed release in the former. They reached the semi-finals for the 4th time in 7 seasons, and in the latter, they beat Manchester United in the final in Bilbao. Postecoglou, no doubt, revelled in the ultimate mic drop moment, delivering Spurs' first trophy since 2008. The disastrous league form was forgotten about. But 16 days after that glorious night in Spain, Postecoglou was sacked. Whilst winning the Europa League in this season ranks as one of the club's greatest moments, we cannot base our decision on emotion. Aligned to this triumph, said the club statement. Within a fortnight, the Australian had been replaced by Thomas Frank, who was tempted away from Brentford by a 3-year deal in North London. The time has come for me to move on, but even as I leave, I know I have left a big piece of my heart at Brentford, he wrote in a letter to the Bees fans. It has not been plain sailing for the Dane. Though, in his first competitive game, Spurs lost to PSG on penalties in the UEFA Super Cup, and despite 3 wins from his first 4 in the league, it is now 2 wins from the last 10. They are out of the Carabao Cup and have won one of their last 4 Champions League games. External pressure is mounting and was cranked up recently when Frank reacted to fans booing Guglielmo Vicario after a howler against Fulham. I didn't like that our fans booed at him straight after and a few times he touched the ball. He told Sky Sports that they can't be true Tottenham fans. That's unacceptable, in my opinion. Internally, though, the club seems to still be sure they have the right man at the helm. As Matt Very alluded to in Hot Off the Press. With many players from last season still at the club, surely turning Spurs back into a top 7 club will take time and a touch more patience. Regardless, the crucial period is upon Spurs. They are 5 without a league win, and after Brentford's visit, face Nottingham Forest, Liverpool and Crystal Palace. They host winless Slavia Prague in Europe next Tuesday. This run will test Frank's mettle. We all know about Thomas Frank, so I won't go into that as much. The game plan with Matt Very, Standard Sports, Matt Very discusses how Thomas Frank's side are likely to set up on Saturday afternoon. He said that is a difficult one to predict because I think he has changed the system and he has changed the lineup pretty much every match. In general, I think the most common one has been a 4-2-3-1 with at least one of João Palhinha or Rodrigo Bentancur as the defensive midfielders. Randall Kolo Morani will probably be starting up front as he has been in really impressive form. Then there is Xavi Simons, who has not started any of the last 3 Premier League matches. There is a big debate over how much Frank trusts him. Whatever system Tottenham play will be very direct. They are going to be trying to win set pieces as soon as possible, with a focus on corners and trying to get it wide as much as possible. In terms of who the actual personnel will be, that is changing so much from game to game. The last starting 11 versus Newcastle, 4-3-3. Vicario, Porro, Danzo, Romero, Udogi, Bentancur, Bergvall, Sarr, Kudus, Kolo Morani, and Johnson. Team news, Thiago is in a good place, said Andrews. Yeah, I pretty much said all this earlier. Yeah, I read all that. Match officials, Jones appointed for Spurs trip. Referee Robert Jones, assistants Neil Davis and Bhupinder Singh Gill. Fourth official Sam Barrett and VAR Timothy Wood. Robert Jones first took charge of a Brentford game in April 2017 when he oversaw a 1-1 draw at Barnsley in the Championship. He has since refereed a further 13 fixtures involving the Bees, the most recent of them being a 2-1 loss against Arsenal in the season before last. Jones has been the man in the middle for 14 games this term, brandishing 53 yellow cards, and he's yet to send a player off in 25-26. The 38-year-old's most recent appointment was for Manchester United's 2-1 win against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Memorable meeting, Spurs 1, Brentford 3. Yes, I do remember this one. Brilliant. And I hope we can get this again. I hope we can do a repeat of this. I really do. Yeah, Premier League, 20th of May, 2023. Brian Bramo grabbed 2 goals. We haven't got him anymore, of course, but we have got Thiago. So, and an assist to help Brentford come from behind and claim a first ever victory at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The Bees hadn't won away at Spurs since 1948 and looked to be heading for a defeat after Harry Kane's long-range opener in the first half. Bramo equalised 5 minutes after the break and turned the game on its head with just over an hour played, with both efforts being fine left-footed finishes into the far corner of the goal. He then turned provider, laying it on a plate for Johan Visser to add a third late on. Yeah. Let's read this. Andrews on facing Frank's Tottenham. Just go through this. Nobody else in the live chat now, and no more comments, but I'll carry on. Andrews on facing Frank's Tottenham. Brentford head coach Keith Andrews has discussed coming up against Thomas Frank's Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League on Saturday afternoon. Andrews, I had a really good working relationship with Thomas and learned a lot from him. The Irishman replaced Frank at the helm after he departed the West Londoners for Spurs in the summer. Asked if he's looking forward to reuniting with Frank and the other staff members who made the move across the capital, Andrews responded, very much so. Thomas is someone I regard as a friend. He's a big part of the reason why I wanted to come to the club. I had a really good working relationship with Thomas and learned a lot from him. I've seen up close and personal how he operated and the way he worked within the structure of this football club. I have a lot of respect for him and what he achieved at this football club. He was a really successful part of the club's history. It'll be nice to see them, Frank, and other ex-club staff tomorrow in and around the game. With several Brentford players also coming up against their former head coach and other colleagues for the first time at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Andrews admitted that the match will have a different feel. We're not robots, he continued. I say this to the players all the time. I treat them as people first and then as players. Naturally, there will be emotions of certain levels involved in the game because players had relationships with the staff. I think that certainly comes into play. But equally, we're preparing for a game that we want to absolutely compete in. Go there with a lot of confidence and show what we're about. Yes, let's hope we do. I really hope we do. We've got to. I feel we can beat this lot. I just don't think they're that special. I really don't. And I know Thomas is managing them, but he really has got a tougher job than I think he thought he'd have here. Trying to manage probably certain players that have got a bigger, more ability-wise, and maybe bigger egos. I don't know, but it's very tough for him. And I'd like us to put pressure on him tomorrow and prove how difficult it is for him. And and it's not sour grapes. So I want the guy to do well. He was a top manager for us. He has moved on, and it's obviously against the team we're playing tomorrow, I believe. So, sorry guys, I can't help yawning. I'm a bit tired, guys. So after this, I'm gonna head to bed. Anyway, I'll just finish off, and obviously, we need to be winning this, and I think we can. We'll be only our second away win get our other one against West Ham, of course, 2-0. When it could have been at least 7 or something, but it was 2-0. But yeah, I think that'd be great if we can get something out of this game. You know, because then we're going into the Leeds game next Sunday. We're playing them at home, of course, at the GTEC. And really, we should beat Leeds. We should be beating them. But then I still think this one, we've got to put in a performance, even if we get a draw. But, you know, with her to come. Apologies, guys, for the yawning. Yeah. So at least then with Leeds to come as well, you know, it'd be good. And to get 6 points from them would be great. And of course, Wolves in the Premier as well. So you'd think possibly an 8 points pick up, you know, you'd say in those games. Then even Bournemouth, because, you know, we're their bogey team. We generally always beat them for some reason, but we do. And I'm happy about that. They don't generally beat us, so that's brilliant. But yeah, let's get to our last team against Arsenal. Not playing ourselves, not playing Brentford. But yeah, so that was obviously the 2-0 defeat against Arsenal. And Kelleher, well, he'll keep his place, of course. He'll still be in goal. Coyote, no doubt, will play. I'd like to give Henry a go, but I don't think so. I think he'll go back to what he's had before. You know, I really do think, unfortunately. But yeah, I think it's going to be different to the team that played Arsenal. Because now I think we gave the rest of our players a go, squad players, and didn't use them enough. And really, she has mucked up. But anyway, let's get back to this. And yeah, get back to this. Yeah, I think that'd be a bit changed again. Well, obviously, it's going to be, I'd say, go back to 4 at the back instead of the 3, I would say, possibly. Which means you'll have Vandenberg back there, and of course, Coyote on the right. I wouldn't keep playing Hickey on the left. No way. He's not a left-footed player. And, you know, I'll find it. Anyway. Sorry, guys, I really apologise. I'm yawning my head off. But yeah, I think it'd be probably Coyote, Collins, Vandenberg, and I won't really go Henry in, but I've got a feeling he'd probably go with Ayer or something. Again, even Hickey on the left, which doesn't work. Yeah, Pinnock will be dropped. Henry, as I say, I think he should play, but I've got a feeling he wouldn't. Yarmouk, well, he's been pretty good in the midfield, pretty solid most of the time. And it was just Michael Clark. Right. The flaming mongrel. Well, that's your face. So anyway, I'm trying to wake up and get on with it. So I think I know you might go with Ayer again. I don't know with that as well, but I wouldn't. I mean, Yarmouk will still play, no doubt. He'll come back in. Yanel, I'm sure he done okay in the match actually. So who would you sacrifice? I know. I think I would pick, and that's um, uh, the second one there, or even the first. But whichever way, I mean, you know, well, I wouldn't be doing anything like that anyway. So I'm not on the other bit the other way to do that anyway. So anyway, let's see what we can do. You know, have you seen that dirty bin thing out there, the pillow? Anyway, yeah, I think Armanook. Yeah, I don't want to. Apologies, guys. Forget what I just said there. It's gobbledygook. I'm half asleep. But yeah, Yarmanook will definitely play. I'll bring probably. I'm sure Henderson will come back or Damsgaard for a start. He should come back to play. Sharda, I'm sure will play. Watara and Thiago. It's got to be those three up front for me. Jensen has been disappointing. I thought he was going to be really good. He seemed to be good coming on at times and scoring and doing well. But now starting, he hasn't been as great. Yeah, but anyway, the players, well, you would take off in those instances are obviously, you know, where you do machines and that, and in the home, find those and put all the stuff out there, and whatever, just to have a bag or bin or whatever. So yeah, they haven't got that much. I mean, I had to buy all this stuff myself. What I've got in my flat. So, and anyway, guys, though, you don't want to know about that. Let's get back to the football. And yeah, I think probably Damsgaard should come back. I want him to play, and you know, he gives that extra bit of quality and passing. He's class. He's an absolute great player when he's really at his best, on form, at his peak, and he's a real handful. But yeah, whether Lewis Potter should get a game as well. I mean, he's hardly played much at all, and I know he could offer a bit more, but you know, I'm sure Keith will go with his usual. That's all I can see happening. But yeah, as long as we do enough, I think we're good enough. Hopefully, with whatever we put out, I think should be enough to beat Spurs. I really hope so. Let's get back to it's the second away game after Arsenal. But yeah, let's get a mentality on the road here and win these certain games. And yeah, so anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to go. I'm totally shattered. I'm knackered here. But I'm hoping for the Bees win tomorrow. I was on Oris one before, and I went to 3-2 Bees. There could be a few goals somehow. I just feel there will be. I just want to see us if we go down again 1-0 or 2-0 or whatever. Um, I would say, yeah. Anyway, I'm nodding off here, guys. I'm just so tired. But yeah, I'm hoping. I said 3-2. It could be a lot of goals. It could be close. Maybe a 2-1, 1-1, 2-2 as well. But to get something there, and I'd love it to beat my old boss. But there you go. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, and then of course we're back. I think it's Saturday. Is it Saturday? I can't remember. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to bounce. Big up to you, John. Hope you're well, bro. Liverpool got to start doing stuff again. They did win against West Ham, but that's West Ham, isn't it? Nothing special. You're sort of coming back a bit, but you're not the team you were, and a lot of players aren't doing as well there. Salah and Van Dijk and Konate, and so many others are not performing, not doing well enough. But also, I just feel United got that bigger, better chance of doing that. Yeah. So anyway, as I say, I'm just falling asleep in, and so I'm going to bounce. But anyway, follow me on Mr. B for Life 182 down here on the ticker. You can see that. Mr. B Hive Football Chat. Please smash those likes up, guys. Get my subs up to that 200. Only 4 away now on 196. So get me up to that 200 milestone so I can do a big stream, good stream, and celebrate it. So come on, guys. You can do it. Hoping for the Bees to win. But I would take a draw. I mean, I don't think I'd be happy with a defeat. I think Spurs should be there for the taking for us. And I'm just not so sure at the moment that she is, is who she says she was. And, I know this could cost a bit as well. So who knows? But anyway, guys, I'm going to go. Thanks to people that are watching. Thanks to people in the live chat. Jordan, of course, Kev, Harry, Oris, and Kev, and Milo, and all the other people watching live on playback. Thank you as usual. Thanks for your support and love and support and everything, guys, and keep it going. Let's get a win. I can do a reaction and be happy about it if we can win or draw. So for now, guys, I'm going to bounce. I'm out of here. Cheers, everyone. Thanks. Bye. Thanks, guys.